Great. So with so much traffic growth, understandably, I mean, you run into issues, in operation, how to scale, what kind of service, how much service do you need on the back end, things like that. How did you address all that issue?
So we started out on MySpace, and we just used a hosted server, and I had a lot of concerns over whether or not if the application really took off, how it would scale.
Okay.
And then basically App Engine came along, and I'd looked at Amazon EC2, and I've used Amazon S3 for a long time. But App Engine was just it's just very easy.
Okay.
Obviously, we're two guys. The 3D rendering part of the code takes up a lot of time. Just adding features there. Randall is obviously he's incredibly busy working on the actual content, which is very important to the user. So ideally we'd have a third person to work on infrastructure, but because we don't, something like App Engine is perfect for us.
I see.
And it was great timing, I guess. And
yeah, it came out of what, like May timeframe, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was
just the time when your app was taking off.
Yeah. Yeah, so basically we moved, we ported the MySpace users over to App Engine.
Okay.
And when we went live on Orchid and High Five, it was actually going live on App Engine.
Okay.
And what we tried to do was, obviously App Engine is under quota limitations right now. It's in preview release. So we knew that there was a risk associated with using App Engine based on the quota, but that's like Google had said that they would look at your application and make more quota available to you, and so we try to utilize things like the containers app data cache to reduce the hit on App Engine.
Okay.
And then, but basically, as soon as it started ramping up, we just got in touch with Paul and Pete at the App Engine team. Okay. And I mean, they've been very generous to us.
I see.
But basically, App Engine it's allowed us to scale massively, especially in like Brazil and Thailand on High Five.
Right.
And while Brazil went live on July 15th, I think, and the amount of traffic overnight went up 3-4x, I think.
Right.
And just ramped up from there.
So
and
yeah,
without App Engine, we would have been scrambling for servers,
right.
and we wouldn't have been able to work on version 2, which we're about to roll out.
Sure. Yes.
So
yeah, that's what developers love to focus on: features, the application itself, the operational issues. Which is a good problem to solve. You would love to have that opportunity, but it's always hairy and difficult to handle that issue. With App Engine as your backend, solves a lot of problems, so you can focus on the features.
Yes. And I've been to a lot of the meetups in the area for Facebook and Open Social, and the #1 thing across the board is if your app takes off, you're going to run into MySQL database problems. Right. And you'll end up hiring a database admin, and for a month or two, you're basically stuck trying to scale effectively, and we haven't had those problems, so it's been great.